No, I'm good. Shabbat shalom, children. Shabbat shalom, Hanani. You know how to say it. Open your mouth. Shabbat shalom, Eden. Shabbat shalom, Eden. Stop saying that. Oh, man. All right, you got it, Asaf. You got it. All right. So, it's been a minute since I've been up here. For the people on the stream, it's good to be back here. Got a jewel for y'all today. Got a jewel for y'all today. We're going to start off with Jeremiah, Brother Trav. Anybody can guess? Can you guess the name of this? What you think I'm about to teach on, Shiloh? Shiloh, what you think the lesson about? Ain't no wrong answer. What you think it's about? Well, not really, but yeah. The name of this lesson is called Say Not That I'm a Child. Raise your hand if you're a child. Elder Martin got his hands raised over there. We all childs of Yah.
That's what I was saying.
Absolutely. But say not that I'm a child. We often have situations where our children believe that just because they're children that they don't have to be attentive to the word and or pay attention to the word, right? So this lesson is geared towards the children. So they know that just because they're a child, they have a place within the body of Mashiach and that they have a role to play. Okay? Let's start off with Jeremiah chapter 1. Pick it up at verse 4.
Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 4. The word of Yahuwah came to me saying, Before I formed you in the belly, I knew you.
He did what?
Before I formed you in the belly, I knew you.
So the Most High knew you children when you were in your mother's stomachs. Right? So you automatically got something to do with Yah before you even born. Right, Shiloh? Absolutely. Keep going.
And before you came forth out of the womb, I sanctified you.
Before you came forth out of the womb. What does that mean, Shiloh? Before you came out of the womb. If you know. Absolutely. See, you're a genius. You got it. Don't be nervous. Ain't no wrong answers. Yes. So before you came out of your mom's stomach, she knew, of course, but the Most High knew who you were. Right? So just because you're young doesn't mean that the Most High isn't watching you. Correct? Keep going. Brother Trav.
And I ordained you a prophet unto the nations.
This doesn't apply to you guys. However, this scripture is just showing that the Most High has knowledge of children in their mother's stomachs. I don't know if you guys were ordained prophets. There was ordained prophets, Brother Trav.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet, right. Keep going, though.
Then said I, Yahuwah Elohim, Behold, I cannot speak.
I cannot what?
I cannot speak.
Why?
For I am a child.
For I am a child. Can you click that word in the Hebrew for me, brother? Jeremiah said, I cannot speak, for I am a child. This is what he told Yah. So when y'all parents is telling y'all to pay attention during Bible study, I'm sure half the time y'all thinking, man, I'm a kid. This don't matter to me. Right? You said no? Okay. For sure. What that word child mean in the Hebrew for the people listening?
It says, concretely, a boy.
A what?
A boy. Or from the age of infancy to adolescence.
Age of infancy to adolescence. That applies directly to the people sitting in front of me right now, but that applies to children in general. So this is indeed talking about a child. He's saying that he's young, right? That he's a boy, that he's an adolescent, that he can't speak, that he doesn't have a place to speak, right? Let's see what Yah says to him. Keep reading, brother.
But Yahuwah said unto me, Say not, I am a child.
Say what?
Say not, I am a child.
Doesn't matter that you're a child. Yah knew you from your mother's womb. You have a part to play as a believer and as a person in the body of the Mashiach, because y'all not going to be children forever. People online, you will not be children forever. So just because you're a child doesn't mean that the scripture doesn't apply to you. Keep reading, brother. Read that from the top.
But Yahuwah said unto me, say not that I am a child.
Mm-hmm.
For you shall go to all that I shall send you.
You shall do what?
Go to all that I shall send you. And whatsoever I command you, you shall speak.
Jeremiah was a prophet. So he was dealing with Yah at a young age. And Yah said, whatever I tell you to go, that's what you shall do. Not saying that this role specifically applies to all children that are born. However, it shows that Yah gives even children a purpose in this world, right? You got a purpose, Shiloh? You got a purpose, Eden? What purpose? We don't. You haven't figured it out yet, but you got one. That's what I'm letting you know. That just because you're a child doesn't mean that Yah doesn't want something for you. Okay? Verse 8, brother.
Be not afraid of their faces,
Mm-hmm.
for I am with you to deliver you.
He what?
I am with you to deliver you, saith Yahuwah.
Good. So, there will come a time where you will need Yah to deliver you, and it could be in the smallest things. Specifically, not for this group of kids because they're homeschooled, but the kids that are online, it may be a situation in your school where someone's saying mean things to you, or someone's provoking you, or anything of that nature. Yah will be there to deliver you because, first of all, you're not subject to not knowing the word, so you know how to use the word as well. And it's up to us as adults to teach you how to use the word so Yah can come deliver you properly. Right? I wrote some notes here. It says, being a child does not mean you don't have a purpose, that you are excluded from obeying Yah or listening to his word. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 11. So you still got to listen to his word, right? You still got to listen to the word? Okay. Ecclesiastes chapter 11. Let's start at verse 9.
Rejoice, O young man.
Oh, who?
O young man.
Mm-hmm. Or young lady.
woman.
We had the same thing. It says young man because we know the Bible is directed mostly towards the men, because when the young men do right, things follow with the young ladies. We have to set an example. However, this is not excluding young ladies. For those at home and for the young ladies here. Keep going.
Rejoice, young children, in your youth.
In your what?
In your youth.
Mm-hmm.
And let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth.
Uh-huh.
And walk in the ways of your heart.
Do what?
Walk in the ways of your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And in the sight of your eyes.
So he's telling you, what does it mean to walk in the ways of your heart, Shiloh? What do you think that means? If somebody said to you, Shiloh, walk in the ways of your heart, what do you think that means? There's no right or wrong answer. Just what do you think it means?
Follow the Most High.
Well, that is a great way to translate it. That brother Travis is instilling the right things inside of you. However, when it says follow your heart, it's not necessarily saying that. You know what I'm saying? Kids that you may know when they follow their heart, they do whatever they want to do. So this is trying to give you a picture of the future. What happens to people when they follow their own heart. Keep reading.
Let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth.
Mm-hmm.
And walk in the ways of your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And in the sight of your eyes.
Mm.
But know you.
But what?
But know you.
You can walk in the ways of your heart, and you can walk in the side of your eyes, which means you can do everything that you see other people doing. You can do that if that's, you know what I'm saying? But this is what the Most High wants you to know. Read.
And for all these things.
But for all these things that you're doing when you're walking in your own eyes, right?
Yahuwah will bring you into judgment.
Yahuwah will bring you into judgment. He's talking about young people. Young people. You still can be brought into judgment. So as a young person, you want to be a youth and walk in the side of your eyes and all the rest of that. But the Most High, he didn't create robots, right? He gives you his will and he wants you to obey it to benefit you. But he did not create robots. And I'm going to give you an example of that. Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 30 real quick so they can understand Yah's format. Because you can go off and disobey your parents and walk in the eyes of your own heart and do all that good stuff if you want to, but you will be brought into judgment. And it's not that you're excluded from judgment just because you are an adolescent or a child. Yah is still watching everything that you do. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 15.
Uh-huh.
See, I have set before you this day
Uh-huh.
life and good.
He did what?
I have set before you this day life and good.
So Yah, our Father, right, has set before you this day life and good. What else?
And death and evil.
And death and evil. So life and good is before you, and death and evil is before you. Right now, the Most High is talking through Moses to a group, to a group of adults. But the adults in turn have to do what? Teach the kids, right? So when your parents are teaching you the right way to live and the right way how to do stuff, they're setting before you what? Life and good, right? And when you walk in the sight of your own eyes, you're choosing death and evil. Keep going.
In that I command you this day to love Yahuwah your Elohim, to walk in his ways.
No, he just asked you to do it. Can you read that again? That he said he did what?
I command you this day.
He commands you to do what?
Love Yahuwah your Elohim, to walk in his ways,
Right.
and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that you may live and multiply.
Right. Keep going.
And Yahuwah your Elohim shall increase you in the land where you go to possess it.
Let's jump to verse 19.
Verse 19. I call heaven, or Shamayim, and earth to record this day against you.
So everything that you're doing is being watched and recorded. You have life in front of you and you have death. Your parents, when they're in this truth, they're teaching you life. But when you walk in the sight of your own eyes, what are you choosing? Smart kids. I like it. Let's go back to Ecclesiastes 11. So with that being said, the Most High isn't creating robots. You have these choices, but who wants to make a choice that's not filled with wisdom outside of what their parents is teaching them? You understand what I'm saying? That sends you down the path in which you don't have guidance, you don't have support, and it's unnecessary, where you can just take the easy way and obey Yah, and in turn, obey your parents. Correct? Right, Shiloh? I'm saying right, Shiloh, because you're the oldest here. So therefore, I call upon you the most, because you might understand more of what I'm saying. I'm not picking on you, okay, nephew? Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and verse 9 again. Now we have a little more context. This scripture will make more sense. Ecclesiastes 11 and verse 9 again.
Verse 9. Rejoice, young man, in your youth.
Right.
Let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth, and walk in the ways of your heart, and in the sight of your eyes. But know you that for all these things Elohim will bring into judgment.
He will do what?
Bring into judgment.
Who want to be in judgment with the Most High? No, you don't. See, I'm glad you shot your hair right now. You don't want that. Keep reading.
Therefore, remove sorrow from your heart.
Do what?
Remove sorrow from your heart.
Remove sorrow from your heart. Keep going.
Put away evil from your flesh.
Put away evil from your flesh.
For childhood and youth are vanity.
What does that mean? Childhood and youth are vanity. What do you think that means? Y'all welcome to say something too, little girl in a red dress. What is Solomon trying to say when he says that childhood and youth are vanity? You know what the word vanity means? It means nothingness. So he's saying childhood and youth are nothing. Right? Why do you think he's saying that? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just trying to get y'all brains turning. Why do you think Solomon is saying childhood and youth mean nothing? Well, Uncle Yaron is going to tell you. It's because you're only a child for a certain amount of time. You're going to grow up and you're going to be adults, like your mommy and daddy and your uncles and aunties and everybody that you see. You're going to grow up and you're going to be an adult just like them. So the things that you do as a child, for one, they're going to be brought into judgment, and for two, it's nothingness because it's such a temporary season in your life. You have a whole life ahead of you, right? So it says that childhood and youth are vanity. They don't mean anything. So let's put away the evil from our flesh, and let's continue to obey our parents. And this shows that if Yah is saying that he will bring the youth into judgment, say not that I am a child. Don't say that just because I'm a child, this lesson doesn't apply to me, or I don't need to listen to the word, or I can focus on something else while the word is going on. You understand what I'm saying? The word still applies to you guys. You may not be able to understand it as much, but as you continue to listen, the Most High will allow you to understand what he wants you to understand, right? And you will understand more as you grow into the young men and women that the Most High wants you to be. Okay? Let's pick it up in Proverbs real quick. You following along with me? Y'all following me? Eden, you got trouble in your eyes, Eden. What you getting to? Trouble. Proverbs chapter 1. And we're going to pick it up around verse 4.
Proverbs 1 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
To give stability to the simple.
Uh-huh.
To the young man, knowledge and discretion.
To the who?
To the young children, knowledge and discretion.
So just when it says young man, just know that it's still talking about young ladies as well. Okay? So Proverbs was written for what? Read that again.
To give stability to the simple.
Mm-hmm.
To the young children, knowledge and discretion.
So it says to give stability to the simple, to the not knowing. So he's saying that the words of this book will make your life stable. Because like we just talked about in the last verses, you're not going to be children forever. You will grow up to be young men and women, and you will need stability in your life so that you can get and go forward. That's why your father and your mother and you online, your fathers and your mothers are instilling these values into you so that you can be prepared to understand knowledge and discretion as you get older. Okay? What does the word discretion mean? Do you know? You use it in everyday life. You may not know what it means, but that's why Uncle Yaron is here to teach you. You know what discretion is? If you don't know it, or if you don't want to guess, you could just say no. It's okay. There's no right or wrong answer. If you Google that word discretion, it's going to make a lot of sense when you figure out what the definition is, because you do it every day. What is discretion? Discretion is very important.
The quality of behaving or speaking in such a way as to avoid causing offense.
To do what?
Avoid causing offense.
Uh-huh.
Or revealing private information.
What's the other definition?
The freedom to decide
That's
what
the
should
one.
be done in a particular situation.
Okay, so discretion goes for both. But mostly I want y'all to know that discretion is the freedom to make a decision in any specific situation. So you just used your discretion because you know right from wrong to pick that book up off the floor, right? You may have seen a child before who would have left that book sitting on the floor, right? You got friends and family that leave water bottles and chips laying all around and stuff, right? You used your discretion because you know right from wrong to freely make a decision to pick that book up and hold it secure, just like that. So discretion, for better example, is when you watching your dad play the game and he's making the decision of playing Call of Duty or 2K. That's his discretion because he can choose which one to make a decision on. You understand that? So Proverbs is trying to teach you how to make the best decisions. Make sense? Okay, let's read that verse again because now they understand what it means.
To give stability to the simple. And to the young children.
To the young children, knowledge.
And discretion.
Knowledge and discretion. So y'all know what knowledge is, being smart, understanding the Bible, doing the commandments, Yah's law, but discretion as well, which knows how to make a decision in specific situations. This may not apply in very great detail to you guys now, but what did Uncle Cam, I'm talking about Mr. Cam, I'm so used to being at work. What did Uncle Iran just say? That you guys won't be children forever, right? So you guys got to learn how to do stuff with discretion. Keep going. Verse 5.
To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark saying. To fear or respect Yahuwah is the beginning of knowledge.
To fear or respect Yahuwah is the beginning of knowledge. Who wants knowledge? You want knowledge, right? Knowledge means to know stuff. You want to know stuff, right? You want to know all type of stuff. What color is this? See, you know this because it was taught to you, right? So that's knowledge. So you want knowledge. He says the fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of knowledge. Any knowledge that even means anything. So he's saying that when you learn to respect the Most High, that's when you'll start to know things. Right? Keep going. Verse 7.
The fear or the respect of Yahuwah is the beginning of knowledge. But fools.
But who?
But fools. Despise wisdom and instruction.
But fools despise wisdom and instruction. You might, man, that's some harsh language. But who is this book written to? Let's read verse 4 one more time.
To give stability to the simple and to the young children, knowledge and discretion.
So when he comes down to verse 7 and he says the fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction, a child can be a fool as well. You understand what I mean? So a fool is a person that's totally disobedient to the Most High. So he's giving you these books, so that you won't be foolish, right? Read verse 8, because this is important.
My son, my children, hear the instruction of your father.
Do what?
Hear the instruction of your father.
Who listens to their father? Y'all better listen to y'all father. He gonna pull that belt out. And here goes the other important part that a lot of people don't have, but in a real two-parent household, this applies. Read.
And forsake not the law of your mother.
Forsake not the law of your mother. Who listens to their mama? You best do it. Verse 9.
For they shall be an ornament of grace unto your head, and chains about your neck.
Who like chains on their neck? Your daddy like chains on his neck.
I do too.
So, these things, obeying your father, forsaking not the law of your mother, what does it mean to forsake? Take a guess. I know that's a big word, but what does it mean?
To listen?
No, forsake means not to listen. So if you forsaken the law of your mother, that means you're not listening to her, okay? It's for the people online as well, because we're reading some bigger words. So forsake means not to listen to not take heed to not care, okay? For they shall be an ornament of grace unto your head and chains about your neck. Verse 10.
My children, if sinners entice you.
If they do what?
If sinners entice you. Consent not.
So, when sinners entice you, do not consent. This is a big thing in today's world. We got social media. We got music out here influencing y'all to do stuff that y'all ain't supposed to do. That's why, and for a better example, your father, being a great upstanding man, is creating music that you guys can listen to with a great message. But we have other types of music out here, other types of television programs, other types of behavior for children that influence people to be a sinner. And when somebody comes to you to tempt you into something that you're not supposed to be doing, say no. Make your parents and your mother and your father and your grandparents and everybody that's teaching you right, make them well pleased. Don't do what somebody else wants you to do. Don't be a follower, be a leader. Okay? Read that one more time.
My son or my children, if sinners entice you, consent not.
Consent not. Don't go. Hey, let's go steal this candy from this store. No. My daddy said I can't do that. My mama said I can't do that. You understand what I'm saying? Don't go along with people doing dumb stuff. They gonna get dumb consequences. You want that belt? All right. Stay away from that dumb stuff. Okay. Proverbs chapter 3. Y'all following along with me? I'm putting y'all to sleep. Well, it's only a little bit more to go.
The honesty of a child.
Read Proverbs chapter 3, verse 1.
Proverbs 3 and 1. My children, forget not my law.
Do not what?
Forget not my law.
Don't forget the Most High's law. Keep going.
But let your heart.
Let your what?
Let your heart keep my commandments.
So if your heart keeping the commandments, where they're at, they're in your mind. That's how you can tell these people that's trying to get you to steal candy out the store, no. Because the commandments of Yah is in your heart. It's in your mind, right? Go ahead.
For length of days.
Who want to live a long life? You want to die early?
No.
Exactly. So that means y'all better do what?
Right?
Listen to the Most High, His word, right? Keep going.
For length of days. And long life. And peace.
And what?
And peace.
What's another word for peace, Brother Travis?
Shalom.
Shalom. Who wants shalom in their life? Okay, keep going.
For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to you.
Peace shall they add to you when you keep these commandments. Remember, Proverbs is written to the young man, to the young woman, so this is directly, literally applying to young people. So when we read Proverbs, we reading it, but it was directed towards a certain audience. I fall into that category too, because I'm not that old. Okay. The best example of them all. Why are we here every day? Why are we here every Shabbat? Why are we in this truth? To praise the Most High, right? And obedience, right? Who is the Most High? What's up, brother? You all right? Who is his name? Mashiach, right? What if I told y'all Mashiach was a child at one point? Would y'all believe that? He definitely was a child. Let's see what happened when he was a child, right? Let's go to Luke chapter 2. Mashiach was a child. He operated in the space of a child when he was a child. So what that mean? He had to listen to his mommy and daddy. He's the example for all of us, for all human beings. He's the example. So, Luke chapter 2, let's pick it up at verse 45.
Luke chapter 2, verse 45.
Uh-huh.
And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem, seeking him.
Okay, so Mashiach was with his family, right? And they were going to Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover. Or, I think it was the Passover, actually. It was. They were going to celebrate the Passover. But young Mashiach, young Yahushua, wasn't with his family. He got left purposely. He stayed back at Jerusalem to do some things. Keep going.
And it came to pass after 3 days, they found him in the temple.
They found him where?
In the temple.
They found Mashiach, young Mashiach, in the temple. Okay? You know what the temple is? What's the temple? What's the temple?
Kingdom.
Well, no, the kingdom isn't the temple. The temple is where they did all the nice, had all the decorations and had the sacrifices. Yah's temple, right? What's the temple? You know what the temple is?
The temple is the body.
Absolutely. But well then. But in this context, read that again. Read that again.
Me?
No, him.
And it came to pass after 3 days, they found him in the temple.
They found Mashiach in the temple, so in Jerusalem. So the temple is where Solomon's temple, right? The big old thing that they made for the Most High, right? This is where Mashiach was as a child. He was in the temple doing what? What was he doing, Brother Travis?
Sitting in the midst of the doctors.
He was sitting in the midst of the doctors. This scripture is in Old English. These was teachers. Mashiach was sitting in the midst of the teachers of the word, doing what?
Both hearing and asking them questions.
Asking them questions. Mashiach was in the temple with the Pharisees, the teachers of the law, hearing them talk and asking them questions, right? And we just read in the Hebrew that child is a young boy from infancy to adolescence, right? We're going to see how old he was. He was in there asking questions and hearing what the people who taught the Bible had to say. I don't see that a lot from the youth. And we got to do better as well, but I don't see that a lot. I don't see y'all asking questions about the scripture. I don't see y'all trying to understand the scripture. For those at home, ask questions about what you're hearing. Figure out what's going on. Just don't listen to the book like it's a fairy tale. This is real. This is the guideline for life. This is how we live our lives. What was Mashiach doing?
Sitting in the midst of the teachers, both hearing them and asking them questions.
Keep going.
And all that heard him were astonished.
They was what?
Astonished.
They was astonished because he is a genius, just like you are. You guys are smart kids. Let's focus some of that energy that y'all focus on video games and toys into the scripture. Keep going.
They were astonished at his understanding and answers.
Mm-hmm.
And when they saw him, they were amazed.
They were what?
They were amazed.
Mm-hmm.
And his mother said unto him,
His mother did what?
said unto him,
Uh-huh.
Son, why have you dealt like this with us?
Mm-hmm.
Your father and I have been looking for you crying. And he said unto them, How is it that you're looking for me?
Why are you looking for me? You know where I'm at. You already know where I'm at. Keep going.
Was you not that I must be about my father's business?
Don't you know that I got to be about my father's business?
Hold on real quick. Y'all don't never say that to me. He was a disciple, you know what I'm saying? I'm actually wrong.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even look at it like that.
What you asking me for?
I'm about my father's business. What's up, Doc? You good? Yeah, I'm good. Keep
And he
reading,
said
though.
unto them, How is it that you sought me? Wish you not that I must be about my father's business?
Mm-hmm.
And they understood not the saying which he spoke to them.
Right.
And he went down with them and came to Nazareth, and was subject unto them.
He was what?
He was subject unto them.
Which means he did what? He listened to his mother and father. The Mashiach listened to his mother and stepfather. They. Right? He even listened to him. So if Mashiach listened to his parents, what y'all supposed to do? Absolutely. Which means that this word is applicable to y'all. Keep going.
But his mother kept all these sayings in her heart.
Mm-hmm.
And Yeshua increased in wisdom, stature, and in favor with Elohim and man.
He increased in wisdom and stature. Stature means size. So it shows that he was a small, young child. Read verse 40 real quick.
Verse 40. And the child grew.
And he what?
And the child grew.
We just read that a child was from infancy to adolescence. So he was y'all age when all this stuff was going on. And he was in the temple asking the teachers questions, trying to figure out stuff. And he was also talking with them. So, with that being said, I encourage those online, and I encourage you all here to continue to ask questions, to continue to learn about the scripture, and to not look at it as a superhero fairy tale book, because it's not. This is real life, and the word applies to you. So next time, say not that I am a child, because that don't matter. Shalom. What that mean? Oh yeah, 3 hallelujahs, because I was going to forget. I ain't with all that. It's too loud, you know. I ain't with all that, you know. So, I guess we about to do it, right? Y'all go. Who counting? I'm going to let y'all figure that out. Who counting?
On the count of 3.
There
You
you
ready?
go. Y'all couldn't figure it out fast enough.
1, 2, 3.